A very good morning, dear students. I hope all of you are doing well. I'm going to continue with the topic of AC circuits in this video lecture, and we are basically going to learn about the LCR series circuit and why it is called an acceptor circuit, why it accepts or passes only a single frequency known as the resonance frequency while rejecting all other frequencies. First, we will express the potential difference or voltage across an inductor or a capacitor as a phasor. So, firstly, if we take the case of an inductor, the voltage across the inductor can be expressed as the current I times the inductive reactance XL. Now, since the voltage across the inductor leads the current passing through it by 90 degrees, the inductive reactance omega L can be written as J omega L, because if you remember, J is an operator which, when operating on a quantity, rotates it by an angle 90 degrees in the anti-clockwise direction. So therefore, XL, if expressed as J omega L, will give us the voltage V leading the current by 90 degrees. Similarly, in the case of the capacitor, the potential difference is simply expressed as the current I times the capacitive reactance XC, and since the voltage across the capacitor lags the current passing through it by 90 degrees, the capacitive reactance 1 by omega C can be written as minus J by omega C, or therefore can be further expressed as 1 by J omega C. This will make the voltage V across the capacitor lag the current by 90 degrees. Now the figure that you see on your screen is the LCR series circuit, where the three elements, the L, C and R, are connected in series, and an alternating voltage V naught sine omega t is applied across the series combination. Now if we apply the Kirchhoff's law to this loop, we find that the EMF or the voltage applied to the in the loop is simply equal to the sum of the potential drops in the loop, and therefore V is simply equal to the potential drop across the resistance, that is IR, plus the potential drop across the inductance IXL, plus the potential drop across the capacitance IXC. So therefore V can be expressed as IR plus I j omega L plus I minus j by omega C, and therefore V is equal to I times R plus j omega L minus 1 by omega C, and therefore V can be expressed as I times Z cross, where Z cross, which is simply V by I, is the impedance of the LCR circuit, and this Z cross is a complex quantity which can be expressed as R plus J times omega L minus 1 by omega C, and let this be equation number 1. Now the complex quantity, the impedance Z cross, can be expressed as Z, that is the magnitude of the impedance, times exponential of J phi, where J phi can be expressed as cos phi plus J sine of phi, which is equation number 2. Here the impedance magnitude Z is simply equal to under root R square plus omega L minus 1 by omega C whole square, which is equation number 3. And the phase of impedance in the LCR circuit, that is phi, can be expressed as tan of phi equal to omega L minus 1 by omega C by R, and let this be equation number 4. Further, we express our potential difference in the voltage across the LCR series circuit to be equal to the total current I times the total impedance Z cross, which is simply expressed as Z times exponential of J phi, or which is simply I Z cos of phi plus J sin of phi. Now, three cases are going to arise from this. Number one, if omega L, that is, if the inductive reactance is greater than the capacitive reactance, tan phi becomes positive and the applied voltage therefore leads the current by a phase angle of phi. If the inductive reactance is less than the capacitive reactance, that is omega L is less than 1 by omega C, we get the second case, that is tan phi becomes negative and the applied voltage therefore lags on the current by the phase angle phi. Finally, the third case, which is in fact the most important case, is when omega L simply becomes equal to 1 by omega C, the inductive reactance becoming equal to the capacitive reactance, tan phi becomes 0 since phi is 0, and the applied voltage becomes in the same phase as that of the current. So we get V is equal to I times Z, where Z is simply equal to R, that is, the impedance of the LCR circuit is purely resistive. Such a condition is known as resonance, and the frequency at resonance is known as the resonance frequency. Now we see that the LCR circuit at resonance has purely a resistive impedance, and therefore omega L is equal to 1 by omega C, and we get omega square to be equal to 1 by LC, or omega is simply equal to 1 by under root LC, which we express as omega naught, or the resonance frequency. And the the angular resonance frequency, and the resonance frequency F naught can be expressed as simply 1 by 2 pi under root LC, which is, say, equation number 5. When the frequency of the applied AC voltage is equal to the resonant frequency, the current in the LCR circuit becomes maximum, which is simply V by R. And what we see is that the alternating potential differences across the inductance and the capacitance are equal in magnitude but 180 degree out of phase, and therefore they simply cancel out each other. Now what you see on your screen are two graphs. One on the left simply plots the inductive and the capacitive reactances, that is XL and XC, the impedance Z and the resistance R against the frequency in the logarithmic scale. Similarly, the figure on the right plots the current and the impedance against the frequency in the logarithmic scale. Now the impedance, the magnitude of impedance Z, which is simply under root R square plus omega L minus 1 by omega C whole square of an LCR circuit, depends on the frequency omega, as can be seen in the graph. Now when the frequency is equal to the resonance frequency, that is numerically when XL is equal to XC, that is XL minus XC simply is 0, Z, that is the magnitude of impedance, becomes equal to the value of resistance and hence is minimum. The impedance becomes minimum, as can be seen in the figure on the left as well as on the right. Also, the current I in the LCR series circuit is maximum at resonance frequency, since I is equal to V by R, as can be seen in the figure on the right. The current is doubled when the resistance is reduced to its half value. Hence, the sharpness of the curve increases with the decrease of R. The sharpness of such a curve or such a current curve is measured by its half width, which is defined as the frequency difference between two frequencies, each of which corresponds to a current amplitude of one half of its maximum. Now, the sharpness of resonance is large if the half width is small, and therefore it is defined that sharpness of resonance is simply equal to reciprocal of the half width. Also, it can be seen from the figure on the right that at low frequencies where capacitive reactance XC predominates, the current leads the voltage. At high frequencies where inductive reactance XL predominates, the current lags the voltage. At the resonance frequency where XL is simply equal to XC, the current and voltage are in the same phase. Now, if the frequency of the applied AC voltage is varied, or if the AC supply contains a number of frequency components like a radio or television signal, then a series LCR circuit across the supply will give a maximum response, that is they are going to pass a maximum current and have a maximum potential difference across its inductance for that component of frequency whose value is equal to the resonant frequency value, that is f is equal to 1 by 2 pi under root LC. This is the procedure by which a radio or television receiving set may be tuned to receive the signal from a desired station sending signals at a particular frequency. The circuit is thus known as an acceptor circuit. I hope the concept of the LCR series circuit and why it behaves like an acceptor circuit is clear to you. In the next video lecture, I will be describing how a parallel LCR circuit can work as a rejector circuit. Till then, bye bye. Thank you.